Hi, my name is Med.
I'm Charlie.
And today we've got new mics.
We've got new mics. I've got a new blanket.
Straight into the show though.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
This is a really
This
good
is
one.
a good episode.
We're really, really well versed for this.
Yes. We're going to be talking about Severance. Best show on Apple TV?
I think it's the best show on Apple
I think
TV.
it's one of. I think
it's in the top 5 shows of my whole life.
For anyone that hasn't seen Severance, do you want to give the premise?
I would love to. So, Severance is kind of a hard one to explain in just 1 or 2 sentences. But the general premise is there's a group of workers who work at this company called Lumon. I'm just like so aware of the plant like in my face. Like, do I need more oxygen?
I can literally see it growing.
Photosynthesis.
Literally right there because you're radiating.
Do you think if you sit near real plants, it like ups your oxygen intake? Genuinely?
I'm going to say no.
Okay. So basically, they work at this company called Lumon. Asking the real questions.
If you stay in the... Sorry.
So yeah, they work at this company called Lumon, very mysterious. We don't really know what the company does. And every day this group of workers, I was about to call them worms, workers goes into this elevator and goes down to the 7th floor. They go down to the 7th floor.
They go up.
So they go down to the 7th floor. And basically the premise is once you go in the elevator and you go down, you turn from your outie into your innie, like persona. And once you go down, you forget everything about the outside world. You forget whether or not you have a family. You forget what you do on the outside world, whether or not you had a hobby. If you're a big like canoe guy, you wouldn't know that you like canoes. You wouldn't, I don't know why canoeing was the first hobby that came into my mind. But like, you just wouldn't know anything about your outer self. And all you know is work and your inner self and the people that you know on the 7th floor. And then the same thing goes for when you leave. So when you go up, back out into the real world, you turn into your outie self and you have no recollection of what happened to you at work.
I am torn between I would happily get it done.
Yeah, I guess like the general vibe is people get severed for different reasons.
Yeah, of course. So the main character, he got severed because...
Your turn.
He got severed because he lost his wife. So the grief that he was feeling was affecting him with his previous work, which he was a teacher. So he decided to get severed just to forget and ignore that pain. And you can really see the contrast between the two characters of him outside of work, being super depressed and hating life, to him inside of work. And he's like... happy-go-lucky Mark. Yeah, he's like a little supervisor.
Adam Scott is so amazing. I mean, the entire cast of this is so great. There's a lot of different ways that you can approach why people choose to be severed, what the purpose of severance is. In the show, they insinuate that the work that the people are doing on the 7th floor is very, very important to Lumon and very crucial to the company. And so they don't really know what they're doing, to be honest. Like, basically what they do is sit and look at computers all day and pick bad numbers and sort them into boxes on a screen.
You're good at it, though.
I'm sick at it.
We
Did you ever finish it?
Yeah. I got to... Well, after I saw you do it, I
did it in like 5 minutes.
I know. Well, how are you so good?
Because it was like so easy. So yeah, they'd found a link where you can do what their job is.
It's literally on the website, what the actual Lumon website.
Yeah, so that's the other cool thing about this show is that they've made it feel like such a... They've kind of embedded it into every aspect. Like they have a LinkedIn page.
They have a LinkedIn. They
have
have
a website.
Job vacancies.
Yeah.
They have a website. They obviously did the really cool thing in... Was it New York?
Oh, the kind of press for season 2 in Grand Central Station.
All the personalities are so different around in the office. So you've got Mark, who's obviously supervisor. Mm-hmm. You have Helly, who is kind of like hating life. The series starts with her
becoming the newest employee.
and they kind of explain like how it all works.
It's one of those shows where you're kind of, there's so many layers to unpeel.
So many.
Every episode you learn a little bit more about Lumon, because the thing is, it's such a mystery. We don't know what Lumon does.
No.
We don't know what these, what the office people are doing on the 7th floor. And every episode you kind of peel back another layer and it gets weirder and weirder. Like, for anyone who's watched the show, there's obviously that one episode midway through season 1 where they discover a room where a man is basically just feeding a load of baby goats.
And that's the thing. Like, it's so,
in an office.
It's so mysterious that you want to know more. As a human, you just want to know. Like,
they do it just enough though. They don't do it so out crazy.
Like, Mark will be running around the whole building and he'll find a room that you've never seen and you'll be like, what's in there? Walks in there and there's just a group of people doing their work and they're like, what are you doing in this department? And it's like, oh, so there is more people. And like I was saying to you, like outside the office, there's so many cars. The whole car park is full, but you only ever know 5 people.
Yeah.
It's so good. I do feel like it's kind of scary in a way that you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it. There's the layer of Mark, and his story and his wife and all that stuff. And then there's the layer of what the business does. Yeah. And then there's the layers of the other characters that have their own little sub-story. So we're talking about Bert and Irving. And then after that, there's the layer of Helly and her story within the business. So there's loads of I think it's the main thing about it is the unknown. I think Helena, she has a bit of a problem. Yeah. Right? That's why I think she got sent in the Severance thing at the beginning.
Is this about the alcoholism?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that she got drunk and drove and killed Mark's wife.
Gemma, yeah.
And I think that that's why she got sent in. And the thing that also gives me that is the fact that when she was... Did you remember that episode when she was driving in the car park and she nearly ran over Mark?
Mm-hmm. No. Mark nearly ran her over.
Oh, Mark nearly ran her over.
And she was like, watch out for the icy roads.
Yeah. And that's what makes
And Gemma died on an icy night. Went into a tree.
I think... And then that's why they want Mark to stay there so he doesn't find out. And it's weird because he kind of likes Helly. Well, inside, Mark likes Helly. But yeah, there's so many layers.
Yeah, there's a lot there. Like there's obviously that scene in season 2 where in episode 2 where you watch Helena watch the footage of Mark and Helly kiss outside the elevator, jealous. And she's watching it with so much like envy,
like rewinding
and that's why
and
everyone thinks that actually it's Helena that's inside currently and not Helly.
I think it
which
is.
Makes a lot of sense. She's not really acting her same self. She's being a bit sus.
I'm actually quite certain it is. And also when they got into the lift, everyone had a ding,
and hers
to like. I feel like it was to like turn it on. Do you know what I mean? Hers didn't. Yeah. She come out and straight away she like freaked out from the hug. And then she was like, tell me everything. Yeah.
Like, she was acting really sus. Like she was a spy.
I love the way it was like, so it's been 5 months and then you find out it was a weekend.
Literally.
They're like, oh my God, it's been 5 months. And what have you been doing? And she's like, nothing. Yeah. What have you been doing? Yeah. He's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think with this season, like the reason why people keep on coming back to the show and why I think it's so amazing is that it plays into all of the things that are so relatable. So work, struggling with like dealing with the outside world while you're also trying to get on with work, interpersonal relationships. Like I actually personally am of the opinion that I don't think that Mark and Inside Helly are compatible.
No, they're not.
And I think that they work really well. I have a real gripe against TV shows that force romantic connections that don't need to be there. I think that Helly and Mark have a really beautiful friendship, and he was so there for her in season 1 when she was struggling. He took the hit from her. So like another really fun, well not fun, but something that's really interesting about Severance on the severed floor is when one of them messes up, they get sent to the break room, which is basically a really scary room where they have to sit there and go under like a lie detector kind of thing. And they have to recite this verse over and over and over again until Milkcheck feels like they're being honest and that they truly feel like repentance. And Mark took the fall for Helly before. Like, I just don't like it when they push romantic connections when they could just be really good friends.
But thinking on a deeper level, I think that's the emotion that as a body it feels, and it's the need and the want that they have in the outside world that naturally kind of brings them together, because there's something missing in Mark's life outside and there's something missing in Helena's life outside. So when they're inside and they have the sort of friendship bond, maybe that sort of romantic sort of spark is the thing that brings them together, even though it's not.
That makes sense, because I think sometimes it's really hard to actually remember that it's one person.
Exactly.
I feel like because they're so different, the personalities, you constantly kind of want to be like, well, it's two different people, but it's not. It's the same person.
In my head, the way it works for me is that when they're in the building, although it is their body, it's just a chip that's turning on.
Yeah.
So in my head it works. The science works of like walking in the lift, the switch kind of comes on and everything's fine. Hence why milkshake doesn't have that.
Yeah.
It just gets in the lift and is just normal and it doesn't turn on.
In terms of what Lumon does and in terms of what the severed employees are doing, I think it 100% has something to do with the genetic code, because they're so all about kind of reanimating Keir. So Keir was the like OG like CEO. He's like this revered guy that they've got statues to, animatronic figures around. Like he's this revered guy. He's basically their god.
Helena's granddad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it granddad?
Granddad or great-granddad?
Yeah,
one of the two.
Yeah.
And they have, so their handbooks are arguably like the Bible. That Keir is their god.
The pact.
They have their disciples, the peoples who are like more and more close to them.
Even Miss Cobell had like a shrine.
Miss Cobell
It's a cult. It's a cult.
It's a cult.
It's a cult.
I think that they're trying to basically use the genetic code of all of these like previous CEOs to regenerate them. What is something that you would sever for?
If I've got lunch, which I've made, right?
Already annoyed at the answer.
If I've got lunch that I've made and I've also got it for dinner, if I was severed, I'd be chuffed that at lunchtime I'm like, ooh, spaghetti bolognese. And then at dinner, I'd be like, ooh, spaghetti bolognese. I won't be like, God's sake, I've got spaghetti bolognese for dinner and lunch. Do you know what I mean? That's one. And the other one...
No, let's not go on to the other one next. I have so many things to say.
What?
First of all, so would you just sever for your lunch hour and for dinner?
No.
Or would you sever for the whole day just so that you didn't have the same, didn't eat the same meal twice?
Ask me that question again. I forgot what you just said.
While I was saying it.
Because I was thinking of an
Literally
answer.
the story of my life. Oh yeah, I forgot what you said as you were saying it to me. So wait, would you sever just for your lunch hour or would you sever for the whole working day?
The whole working day.
Just so that you don't have to remember that you've eaten the same meal twice?
That's one of the reasons.
What's the other reason?
So, sports really puts me in a certain mood. So, if, for example, I support Man United and we're crap at the moment. So, when we lose on a Sunday, it really affects my mood for the week. But
God, they play on God's Day. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah, and they're called the Red Devils.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, if we lose on a Sunday, I can go into work and be like, fine. Not have to worry about anything that's happened.
Put you in that bad of a mood that you'd be in like a crappy mood on a Monday if they lost?
Yeah, sometimes it affects me like that.
Wow, such a diehard supporter.
So if you could be severed,
yeah,
what would you do it for?
My practical one is long haul flights, because...
Are you a air hostess?
No, I might go on more long haul flights if I was severed for them. I would love to be severed for my period cycle.
Same.
So that every month didn't have to deal with cramps, didn't have to deal with bloating, didn't have to deal with like any of the weird aches and pains.
And the cravings.
I don't know if it's a cravings thing. I think I have cravings all the month through. I don't know if it's a craving. I don't really get cravings on my period. I more just get like mood swings.
I was talking about me, but yeah.
Okay, well you don't have a uterus.
But I can still feel...
No, only people with uteruses. And that's the truth.
No phantom periods?
Oh, that might be a thing, actually.
I think it is.
Okay, I take it back. Do you get phantom periods?
Yes, I think I do.
Cool. Let me have the period, though.
Okay, you can have the period thing.
Cool.
Fine.
Right, that's
Period's
what we would
yours.
sever for. Bye!
Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll probably forget about... Maybe I am severed.